You want to know how I ended up at the head of that table? It started with the worst blind date of my life. Walk with me. Came back with nothing. No money, no story anyone wants to hear. I promised myself I wouldn't. I lied. Same roads, same faces, same guy. That last part is the one that keeps me up at night. My mom thinks a blind date is what I need right now. My mom is wrong. I'm still going. I knew her in high school. Hannah Chase, the girl who could end a conversation with one look. She clocked me in 3 seconds. I could see the exact moment she decided this was beneath her. She said I came crawling back from the city with my tail between my legs. I wanted to argue. I couldn't. I didn't fight her. Too tired. Also, the coffee here is genuinely excellent, and I needed the cup. $288,000 bride price. Gold? A Mercedes? On a first date she's known about for 40 minutes. I told her that seemed like a lot. She looked at me the way you look at someone who says water is wet. $20,000 just to date her, then $88,000 when it gets official. Bare minimum, she said. Bare minimum. I told her she hadn't changed. She smiled like I meant it as a compliment. I did not mean it as a compliment. She called me a broke loser, said small towns are where people like me belong. Every word landed clean. And right in the middle of that, something happened. Something I have no normal words for. A system in my head. 30 million villa, 56% of Ridgewater heavy industries. Just like that. I was absolutely sure I was having a stroke. Then I realized, no, I'm just rich now. She was still listing price points. I was doing math on what 56% of a billion actually feels like. The GPS sent me somewhere I'd never been. The gates opened. I said things I will not be repeating. He called me chairman, bowed, explained my title. I asked him to say it again, just to be sure. Marble floors, 12-foot ceilings, a kitchen bigger than every apartment I've ever had combined. Obscene. Perfect. There was a Mercedes in the garage. Hannah asked for a Mercedes as part of the bride price. Interesting timing. I stood there a long time, just breathing, wondering which part of this was still the dream. Then Alex called. The man has a sixth sense for when my life is about to become a story. I said I was on my way. First time in years those words felt like a direction instead of an excuse. Alex, my oldest friend, still the same man he was at 7. That's not nothing. That's everything. Then he told me about the divorce. She emptied the accounts. Every dollar he'd saved, wiped clean. I didn't offer advice, didn't try to patch it up with words, just stayed there. That was the job. He said he had nothing, no money, no family left, just his 2 hands. He had no idea how wrong he was. I told him, whatever he needs, whenever he needs it, he calls me first. I meant it the way you mean a promise. Then he asked if I remembered Lisa Harper, said she was single. I went quiet in a way I couldn't explain. Lisa Harper. I hadn't said that name out loud in years. Turns out, names can still do damage. First night of being inexplicably wealthy, I went to a wellness center. Seemed appropriate. Turned out to be very wrong. The masseuse walked in, and it was Hannah Chase. The universe has timing I genuinely cannot explain. She offered to swap out. I said stay. Honestly, I wanted to see what she'd do with that. 4 hours ago, she called me a broke loser. Now she was asking about pressure points. Take that in. I asked why she didn't mention the job at the cafe. She said no one dates a masseuse. I couldn't argue with that. She asked me not to tell her family. They thought she worked in hospitality. I understood that kind of gap. I told her it never happened, and I kept that. Not everything needs to become someone else's punchline. She thanked me like she meant it. That was the first real thing she'd said to me all day. I liked it. I brought Alex over the next morning. He asked if I was joking. I showed him the deed. He sat on the lawn. He started bowing and calling me President Sullivan. I told him to stop approximately 6 times. He has not stopped. I keep thinking about Lisa, more than I tell anyone, more than I probably should. And then I actually saw her. Lisa Harper, standing right there on the main street. My brain just quit. I hid behind a pillar, the chairman of a billion-dollar company. Behind a pillar. This is my life now. She didn't see me. That should have been the relief. Somehow it landed like the other thing. She'd waited 3 hours in line for that charm, said it would help with exams. I never told her it worked. Alex said Lisa was the past, said I needed to leave it there. He was trying to help. He was completely wrong. Past, like she's something I finished. She's the reason I never could. I passed her in the car. She looked up, had no idea it was me. But she looked. That's the part I keep. 30 million in walls, one charm worth nothing, and every single thought about the same one person. Board meeting at 9, Chairman Sullivan needed. All right, let's find out what kind of man gets to deserve both. I'd spent years running towards something I couldn't name. Turned out, it wasn't in the city. It was right here. It was always right here. I came back broke. I came back without a plan. I came back because somewhere underneath all the excuses, I came back for her. I just needed a reason that felt like enough. Turns out, $30 million in a billion-dollar company is a pretty solid reason to start. Board meeting at 9, Lisa Harper early shift, and me, somewhere in the middle, figuring out what kind of man gets to deserve both. Let's go.